Okay, I think the camera's going. Hello, anyone that's being heard or whatever on the camera. I'm making beef stew today. Will this live to see the light of day? I do not know, but you know, who cares? I'm gonna chop an onion first. Gonna rough chop an onion because it's for stew, so I don't need a fine dice. Normally I would use green onions, but we're out of green onions, so I don't know if this is visible at all. Yep. A lot of pithy commentary coming through the camera right now. It's so fucking easy to talk to a camera, right? Ugh. Dad, do you think this is coming off as natural, or do you think I sound like a fucking dumbass? Yeah, I want to hear your honest opinion. Do I sound like a fucking idiot with a camera strapped to me?
I think you should maybe think through what you're, kind of want to say and things.
Well, I don't want to say anything. I just want to show people I'm cooking this stuff. I say commentary can be a side effect of, everything else I'm doing. Yeah, it edits the fuck out of it. I'm not editing shit. I say I'm gonna stitch these. I'm gonna film while I'm, cooking, and then I'm still filming. By the way, I want to make that clear. I'm still going.
I'm an extra.
Yeah, you're gonna be. I doubt your audio's coming through, but yes, I'm gonna do 2 onions, 1 red, 1 white. We're like, why are you doing 2 onions? It's like, we don't have enough white onions to do 2 white onions, so red and white. But yeah, for this, I'm going to be using the brand new Instant Pot that I received as a delightful birthday present, begrudgingly received as a delightful birthday present from my dear family. My mother really wanted to get me a crock pot, and I said no. I kind of want an Instant Pot, so I did get one. It's this thing right over here. Oh, which is off. But yeah, this is the first time making stew in this, so we'll see how it goes. All right, I'm gonna sign off now. We'll see you at the end of the vegetable chopping process. Okay, I'm back. Now I'm gonna be peeling and chopping up some carrots, which is, fascinating stuff, really. But sometimes you gotta show the busy work, because just seeing the end result is kind of lame. As I've already peeled a bit of my fingernail there, so this is gonna be a very fingernail centric dish. As all of my cooking is, heavily relies upon fingernails. But yeah, these carrots are pretty old, so I'm trying to get them into this stew, or else we're never gonna use them. Normally, if I have my choice, I'll use baby carrots for this, but who cares? I say it doesn't matter. I was almost going to do no carrots today, but we had them, so whatever. So carrots are like the second or so least important ingredient in this dish. It's like there's some things you can skip. There's some things you can't skip. So at bare minimum, you need onion, you need beef, and you need liquid. Basically, anything else is redundant. Potatoes, you'd want potatoes, but you know, you can have it without potatoes. It's not gonna, you know, kill you without the potatoes. But yeah, basically, like I said, everything else is just kind of like whatever. But you know, aspiring for mediocrity is not necessarily what I'm going for here, so. We'll see. I'm sure the audio is coming off horrible on this, but you know, what are you gonna do about it? Let's see, what am I doing? Where am I? I'm gonna grab another bowl. Grabbing a lot of bowls today. Nope, that means the Instant Pot is ready to sear our meat, but I gotta chop these carrots first. So I'm doing these kind of, if you can see here, maybe I gotta hold the cutting board further away, at like a 45. So you want a 45, rotate twice, 45, rotate twice, 45, rotate twice, 45, rotate twice. And that's, you know, carrots. You get kind of the size and the shape you want there. You can do discs, you can do rings, but this gives kind of like a, I don't know, difference in shape. It looks nice. I hate the disc carrot look. I think it looks stupid. Don't ask me why I believe that. I don't have any evidence to back up my, you know, random opinions half the time, but so this is our carrots. I'll video back when I sear the beef. Hello, we're back. We got the beef out. We're cooking with this chuck roast. This is a, well, I would say this is a good cut to stew with, but it's really the only cut you want to stew with, unless you're really gonna shelve out for like, you know, stewing with fucking ribeye or whatever. I don't know what sort of douchebag is gonna do that, but yeah, there's a lot of intramuscular fat, which is good for stewing because there's a bunch of stuff in there that doesn't break down when you sear it. But there's a lot of stuff in there that breaks down over slow cooking times. So yeah, it's really good for wet heat. So you can kind of boil it for a while and it just gets soft. Whereas if you boiled, you know, fucking filet mignon, it's not going to end up well. So I'm going to put that in there. It's going to start sizzling pretty aggressively. So hopefully that's coming through. Fancy new Instant Pot. Gonna squish it in there. Apologies, you can't really see what's going on. I'll show you the end result when it's done searing. I'm gonna hang up now. I'm back. Beef is still searing, but I'm opening up one of the ingredients we're using for the stewing. So we're gonna do it with red wine. I don't typically do it with red wine. I normally use red wine vinegar, but you know, figure special occasion. Let's see how it goes. So I'm gonna, you know, peel this off. I think we've all opened wine before, but you know, feels like a fun thing to show. Also, if I mess this up, it's a thing people can, you know, laugh about. So we want to twist this on there till about, I don't know, that far in. You know, pop it up, get that bit on the ledge there, and then just you know, lift the whole thing out. So yep, there's open wine. I used to not be very good at that, but I've kind of gotten better at it. So the meat is still going. I don't know if that audio is picking up, but it's sizzling. There's the meat in there, fogging up the camera. But yeah, I'll be back when I'm done with this meat searing. All right, the meat has finished searing. Now I'm gonna go ahead and sear off the onions in the same pot. Hopefully you can get some of that fond that's on the bottom. up with the onions. So onions got a lot of liquid in them. So hopefully that'll, piss out some of the liquid. And then we can, scrape some of the crispy brown bits off of there. Hey, in the future, if I make another one of these videos, expect to be able to see inside the pot. I'm just doing this from a chest-mounted camera rig right now, so you're gonna have to subsist off the sounds of the food, which I will admit, it sounds real good. It smells real good too, so I'm pretty happy with that. I can't do anything about the smell. We have not gotten our tech there yet. But, one day in the future, we might have that. And you're probably wondering, why have I not brought any garlic into this? Am I going to use garlic powder? Am I going to do, this or that? The answer to that is, I'm going to be oven roasting our garlic today. And that is going to be a pretty easy process. It takes about an hour. I'll be showing you the steps for that when I get to it. But yeah, for now, just searing off some onions. This smells like heaven. Really great. All right, so now that those have gone for a bit, I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna grab our tomato paste. This tube has seen better days, but hopefully we can get a little bit out of there. Oh, yep, there we go. Already some poking out. So this is not a tomato-based beef stew. So we're gonna get a bit of that flavor in there with the tomato paste. Not a crazy amount, but I am prescribing to the, I guess, Irish variant of beef stew, which is basically just a meat sauce, meat broth with vegetables in it and meat. We're not touching too many tomatoes in this. I did consider adding bacon to this, but I have to eat this. I'm not trying to kill myself yet, so we'll see how it goes. Not trying to go too crazy unhealthy. So I'm gonna let that tomato paste go. It's doing good. Fawn's looking nice. I'll be deglazing this probably now. So run over here, grab our wine. Not dumping the whole thing in yet, just enough to scrape up those little brown bits that are on the bottom of the pot, because we don't want to burn those. Those are basically the flavor of the whole thing. You can theoretically make this dish without searing your meat, but it's kind of like making a burger without putting cheese on it. I don't see the point to it, unless you're lactose intolerant, which I don't know if there's a intolerance to browning. You'd be a sore son of a bitch if you had that. I apologize for anyone who has that issue. So now onions are in there, steaming off with the white wine. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna switch this mode off of saute, and I'm gonna switch it on to slow cook. The slow cook function on this one sucks, but at the very least it'll keep the heat going without burning anything in there or evaporating off all the wine. So our next step is we're gonna take this piece of meat right here. We're gonna dip it back into the pot. I normally would cut it up at this step, but it'll disintegrate eventually. So now that's in there. We're gonna finish off the bottle of wine, which normally that saying would have a far worse connotation, but I say I'm not drinking today because it is 1:30 p.m. And I have work tomorrow, so none of that's happening. And then we're also going to add in some chicken stock, which I should have some in here. I do not have any in here. Time to take a visit to the pantry. And if we don't have any, I'm gonna cry. You're gonna hear me scream and cry. Looking like we're missing out on some chicken stock. That's a shame. All right. Well, good news is this dish can be done with just red wine and water. Can't believe we don't have any chicken stock. This sucks. Oh well. Checking here again though, because I don't want to be the guy who's like, oh, we don't have chicken stock, and there's like a gallon of chicken stock there. Nope, we don't have any chicken stock. Man, I had a whole tirade ready about why I was going to use chicken stock in a beef stew, but you don't have to listen to that now because we don't have any. So the good news is we'll get a lot of flavor out of the meat and the onions and the wine. So you don't really have to worry about using chicken stock, but I like to use it because when you're comparing the beef stock you can get from stores with chicken stock, beef stock tastes bad and it doesn't have collagen like at all. Whereas it's really easy to make chicken stock. You just boil the shit out of like chicken wings, which are really cheap. Whereas beef, there's not a lot of beef bone byproducts because, it's kind of, people like their bones in the meat and all that. So it tastes bad, beef stock that is. Tastes bad, doesn't have any collagen, so it doesn't thicken it for, anything. It's just a waste of time. But this should work fine. I'm just gonna have to thicken it later, which I'm gonna be using cornstarch for that anyways, so don't even worry about the collagen. So I'm gonna hang up for now. I'll see you again when I'm roasting the garlic. All right, back. We're gonna be doing roasted garlic today. Roasted garlic is really easy. All you gotta do is take this head of garlic. You wanna slice through the opposite side of the stem. So, this bit here, you wanna leave that on. So the trick here is you're trying to expose all the cloves. You notice I did not succeed in doing that. That's fine, I can just slice through the rest of them. This is some green garlic, it's kind of old. I don't care, doesn't matter. It's never made a big deal to me. So we're gonna want an oven safe glass container. And then we're also gonna want to preheat our oven over here to 350, which is the default temp on this. You don't cook a lot at 350, at least in my experience. Because it's kind of a waste of time, but we're doing it for this. So you want to grab some aluminum foil, you squish it in there, you take your head of garlic, pop it in there, then you're going to grab some oil, some salt, and some pepper. We're using Graza olive oil, which is like really, really good. Yeah, real succinct there from me. I like this, it has a high smoke point. It comes in this nice bottle where it has the squeeze thing, and it's also a really nice dark bottle, so it doesn't, go rancid in the sun or any of that. So you're gonna grab your salt. You're gonna wanna salt it. You can skip the salting step if you want, but, it kind of adds, because you're gonna wanna snack on this, because once it's done, it tastes like, crack. So then you're also gonna wanna pepper it. Again, you can skip that, but you kind of want to be eating this with a spoon by the time it's done. So you're going to take the foil, you're going to wrap it around, nothing too, delicately. So once that oven is preheated, you're going to pop it in there for an hour straight. Don't take my word as gospel. Some ovens take longer, some ovens take a short amount of time. But this oven, if you're ever cooking at our home, takes an hour. And I'm probably gonna be doing 2 of these because I am making mashed potatoes later, and these go like incredibly good in mashed potatoes. So I'll be cooking 2 in the same pot. And yeah, you wanna leave all the skin on. You wanna leave all the bits on that hold it together. If you take any of that off, it's gonna all fall apart. I'm pretty sure you can do these in individual cloves, but that's hard and annoying, and cooking's supposed to be fun and easy. like anyone's ever said cooking's supposed to be easy, right? But yeah, so just so you can see it again, garlic clove, aluminum foil, pop it in there, just so you can see that. I'm sure my framing on this is garbage, but what are you gonna do about it, right? Oil it up. Oil is important. You gotta get the oil on there, or else it's just gonna come out probably burnt. Because it conducts the heat throughout the thing pretty evenly, but it kind of drifts down in there. Salt and pepper. So you also notice, if you're watching this video in its whole, I am skipping out on a lot of dried powdered seasonings today, and that's because I am using the actual components. So no onion powder, I'm using onion. No garlic powder, I'm using garlic. I am I'm gonna show y'all one little thing I'm adding right now, which is I'm gonna put some soy sauce in this. You might be like, why are you putting soy sauce in like an Irish style beef stew? And the answer to that is because it's savory and it will also tenderize the meat, because this meat's gonna be cooking for probably the next 3 or 4 hours. And that soy sauce is gonna give it a real head start on the cooking process, or the softening process, I should say. And then we're also gonna be putting Worcestershire, I can't say that word, Worcestershire sauce in there. That's kind of doing the same thing the soy sauce is doing, but more importantly, that's just flavoring. I think it's a real, signature flavor of beef stew. Most of what's in here. You can skip both of these steps, especially with the wine, because the wine's very acidic. So that will tenderize the meat like crazy regardless. But I think the Worcestershire especially gives really nice color to this, because you think a beef stew is brown, but so far the only brown things we put in there is the browned meat, which isn't really spreading a lot of color. And red wine is gonna dye the whole thing, pink. So if we can add some, brown ingredients, we're gonna get a more cosmetically appealing stew, which, I don't care about how my food looks, but if it's gonna taste good at the same time, win-win. So I will hop back on when I am finished the garlic, which will be about an hour or so in real time. So if I get something done in between, don't be surprised by that, sorry. So we are back. It has been about an hour and a half. I have abandoned the chest mount for the camera, because most of what you're gonna see from this point out is finished products. So here's our garlic, roasted up nice and good. If you want to look right there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let it cool down for a little bit. I'm going to pick out each individual clove and I'm going to chuck them right in the stew. And then with this other head I have started the process on the mashed potatoes. So I'm just peeling and slicing some red potatoes. What I'm going to do with those, I'm going to boil them for about 12 minutes, 12 to 15. Then once I'm done, I'm going to run them through a potato ricer. You can just mash them. I just have a potato ricer because I'm passionate about potatoes, I guess. And then I'm gonna mix it with some melted butter, as much as I'm willing to, deal with. So, more than I want to share, but a lot. And then salt, pepper, roasted garlic, and that's mashed potatoes. So, I'll add some milk if it's not, thin enough. But, we'll see how it goes. Play it by ear. But yeah, that's gonna be our potato component of the stew. Normally, I would throw some potatoes straight into the stew. That is how I tend to do it, but, I'm recording it. Let's do something special today. Plus, I have a pretty solid mashed potato recipe on lock. So yeah, next time you see me, I should be done with the stew and with the potatoes. So I'll be showing you guys the finished product as soon as it cuts. Hello, we're back. Now, everything's not done just yet. I know I said it would be, but we gotta cook this beef stew a little bit longer. I want to get the pieces nice and soft. We got some delicious mashed potatoes over here that I have finished. So you see the little pieces of roasted garlic in there. Just finish that off. That's going to be the base for our stew tonight. I'm keeping that covered up over here. Hopefully that will just stay warm for the time being. Again, this boy is cooking. We're going to see how that continues to go. It smells pretty good. I can't lie. I say, if you look at these pieces there, it's looking good. But yeah, now it's gonna finish when it finishes. I say, I cannot predict the future, but so far so good. Been cooking for about 2 or 3 hours now. Yeah. Okay, so I know I said this last time, but for sure next time it cuts, it will be done. So let's see if I was telling the truth. Okay, I said I would be done, and it is done. I have finished cooking the stew. Now I just have to serve it to all these hungry, waiting people in this house who are standing right behind camera, waiting to attack me. So that's the end of the video. Depending on how easy it is to edit this, you might see more of this, or this might be a one-time thing. We'll see. All right, bye.